Good morning, Miss. I will wait for 2 more minutes so that all of you join. I will allow you to unmute yourselves now. If it is noisy next to you, please do not unmute.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start. Today is the last session in this week. We are going to finalize the lecture, all the exercises in the text, and all the exercises related to the story that we have read about. So let's start. I will just make a quick revision about the theme in general. It's about famous scientists. And we have talked about Stephen Hawking, who is one of the most famous scientists in the world. We talked about his achievements, about his disability, and so on. We also introduced a new theme, which is biography. Which is a biography. We said that a biography is a text written to inform the reader about someone's life, a person's life, and it's a narration also. We talked about the features or the elements of a biography, and we said that the most important feature of a biography is the chronological order or the timeline. It means the date that we are using in a biography. The dates are very important in biography. The skill for our lesson was the chronological order or the time order. We also talked that usually the author organizes the events in the story in order. And this is what happens, especially in biographies, when the author uses dates in order to organize the ideas from the beginning to the middle to the end. This is what do we call a chronological order. We also solved an exercise, an example exercise related to chronological order. We explained the vocabulary words and we asked this essential question. We did a very short debate about it and we started with the text. Where did we reach yesterday? Which paragraph? Did we finish the whole text?
This maybe to paragraph 8 or 7. We finished the whole text.
What? Who was talking?
We finished the whole text.
The whole text?
We started with the questions.
طيب هلا we're gonna نحنا read the last parts of the text. Let's repeat from paragraph 8, just to remember the last ideas of the text. First, let's sum up the story. Who can remind us? How did the text start? It started with one information about Stephen Hawking. What was it? Don't you remember? They started with the death of Stephen Hawking, right? Are you here with me, miss?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. So they started with the death of Stephen Hawking. They also talked about some of his achievements in space, discovering the black holes, and so on. Now we are going to continue reading from paragraph 8. But before we start, who can remind me what was the disease that Stephen Hawking suffered from? Yes, Maya.
Motor neuron.
Motor neuron disease. Who can explain us what is this disease? A person who has this disease loses what?
Miss, he can't walk again.
So uses the functionality of the organs. It's not related only to walking, all the organs of his body, his neck, his hands, his legs, everything. So when a person has a motor neuron disease, it means he loses functionality to all the organs or the muscles in his body. Okay, this is what happened to Stephen Hawking. Let's start reading paragraph 8 just to refresh our minds, and then we'll continue with the exercises. Adnan, please start reading.
Yes, Miss. Paragraph 8.
Yes.
In 1974, Hawking drew on quantum theory to declare that black holes should be emit heat and eventually pop out of existence.
Okay, so in 1974, he discovered something called the black holes, and he said that these black holes emit heat, and he believes that these black holes emit light. Okay, so this was the quantum theory. The name of this theory that Stephen Hawking discovered is the quantum theory, and it happened in 1974. Pay attention to the dates because there is an exercise in the worksheet that is related to the dates. You have to fill in the flow chart. Okay, so these are very important. The dates are very important. Let's continue. Yes, Adnan, continue, please.
Okay. But it was a brief history of time that rocketed Hawking to stardom. Published for the first time in 1988, the title made the Genius Book of Records after it stayed on the Sunday Times.
Okay. It was a brief history of time that rocketed Hawking to stardom. What is a brief history of time? أنا explained them yesterday على فكرة إيه؟ So no, it seems that no one is following. عن جد no one is following up. I explained this yesterday. So it was a brief history of time that rocketed Hawking to stardom. What do you mean by a rocket?
He made him famous.
What do you mean by the word rocket? What is a rocket? You don't know what is a rocket even in Arabic? صاروخ
Is it
يعني.
صاروخ?
Yes, thank you. So it rocketed Hawking to stardom. It means it took them directly, very quickly to stardom. A Brief History of Time is a book. Stephen Hawking wrote this book and it was published in 1988. The title made the Guinness Book of تعرفوا أكيد the Guinness Book. معقول ما حدا بيعرف Guinness Book?
لا كلنا بنعرفه يا مس.
Okay, so this book was on the list of bestsellers for about 237 weeks, which no book in the world did it. And it sold 10 million copies and was translated to 40 languages. So this book entered the Guinness Book because it was the book which was sold the most. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that a book like this, how important it was to sell 10 million copies and be translated into 40 languages? Do you think that it is really a very important book? And from the evidence that we have in the paragraph, how important is this book?
Yes, it seems very important.
It seems very important. It gives you أصلا a push to really look for it and buy it, to see what's there in this book that motivated all of these people, 10 million, more than 10 million people in the world, to copy this book and buy it, and what motivated them to translate this book into 40 languages. This shows that the book is very important. Okay? Thank you, Adnan. Let me choose someone. Karam?
Sorry, miss. The
Yeah.
electricity went off.
It's okay. Karam?
أمس
الحمد لله على السلامة.
الله يسلمك.
كيف صرت؟
منيح.
Good, الحمد لله. Your family, you're all good? Was it difficult?
أول يومين بس رجعت لا.
Good, الحمد لله. So you're tested negative now? Good, الحمد لله على السلامة حبيبي. يلا يا
الله
كرم.
يسلمك.
Let's read. Start
من
with paragraph
Hawking.
9. With paragraph 9.
But
Yeah.
in 1985, during a trip to CERN,
Yes.
Hawking was taken to the hospital with an infection. He was so ill, but the operation saved his life, but destroyed his voice.
Okay, so let me talk about this thing. During this trip, something happened with Stephen Hawking in 1985. It was an infection. So he was very ill. They did an operation to help him. They saved his life but destroyed his voice. And if you can see Stephen Hawking pictures, or if you listen to his sound, you can feel that it is a machine who is talking, not him. Okay, so even they invented something, a certain machine. I don't know how do they use it, of course, but it translates or it tells everything he wants to say. Okay, so he even couldn't speak. At the last period of his time, he couldn't speak. They used this machine. This machine was with him all the time, and it helped him to speak. So when you listen to his voice, after doing this operation, you can feel that there is a machine talking, not a human being. So it's a very slow, in slow pace. He's not very fast. His voice is not a human voice. It looks like a machine. So this is what happened with him. Okay? Yeah, continue يا كرم, paragraph 10.
Hawking was argued that for humanity to survive, it must spread out into space, and has warned against the worst applications of artificial intelligence.
Okay, so Stephen Hawking was famous for one idea, which is that he wants everybody to be very curious. He wants people to go look in space, search, find something new, invent something new. He believes that Earth is not the eternal place for humanity. So he wanted people to look for a new place to live in, and he wanted people to discover more about space because he thinks that space is the second destiny for humans. Okay, so he wanted people to look in space more and more. Continue, please, Karam.
Including autonomous weapons. He spoke also of death and
Eventuality.
eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon than doctors thought. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die, he said. I
Okay,
have so much
so
I
much
have
to
so
do.
much I want to do first.
Okay, so he always said that he is not afraid of death. He's not afraid of death because he thinks that there are many things that he wants to achieve. There are many things that he wants to do before he dies. Okay, that's why he didn't want to die early. Paragraph 11.
What astounded those around him was how much he did achieve. He
Okay,
left
what astounded? What
his
do you mean by astounded? Who remembers? We explained that in the vocabulary words.
Miss
Yes,
Akshi.
Aya.
Shocked.
Very good. They were shocked. They were amazed. They were surprised. Continue, please, Karam.
Achieve. He left his three children from his first marriage to Jane, while and three grandchildren.
Okay, so everyone was shocked, everyone was surprised that a person like Stephen Hawking, who is suffering from a very severe illness, very severe disability, he can't do anything, did all what this person did. Okay, he left his three children from his first marriage. So we said yesterday, do you think that he was married more than one time or only once, and how can you tell? From this paragraph. What
because
can
he
you tell?
said because he said that he left his three children from his first marriage, Jane
So
Wilde,
this shows what?
that he got married more than one time.
Very good. He got married more than one time because they said his first marriage. So maybe he has a second or a third. Nobody knows. But he said his first, they said his first marriage. Okay?
Okay.
Is everything clear till now?
Yes.
Yes. Let's go to the exercises. We don't have much exercises. Adam read. Adam حيك. Adam.
Yes, miss, my internet is not good.
What?
My internet is not good because of that.
Okay, can you read please the question?
Yes. The sentences below misinterpret some information in the above text. Rewrite them correctly so they agree with the meanings stated and implied by the writer.
Okay. So the sentences below, this is the way I'm going to ask you this question from now on. True and false, or correct the false statements and so on. خلاص, you are in grade 7 now. We cannot say right, true or false and correct the false ones. Okay, we need to ask more mature questions. So the sentences below misinterpret some information in the above text. Rewrite them correctly so they agree with the meaning stated or implied by the writer. Lord Rees, the astronomer, admired Hawking, who worked for over than 50 years. Let's go to paragraph 4. Okay, who can find the answer in paragraph 4 and correct this sentence?
Miss?
It is in paragraph 4. You can find it. It's very easy.
Yes, Miss, I found it.
Yes,
Who praised Hawking's half century?
very good. What is a half century? طيب, what is a century?
Is it years or more?
How many years? A century is how many years? Ajad, you don't know? Are you serious, guys? 100 years.
100 years.
Century is 100 years. Type half century.
50 years.
Raise your voices.
50 years.
50 years. So they said in the sentence over than 50 years. So what is the correction? He praised him for only 50 years. And they were specific. They didn't say more than or less than. They said 50 years. Jane Wilder was the only woman Hawking got married to. We explained this. Who can explain it again? Yes? Hello? Yes, Aya?
Was the first woman that he got married to.
Yes, she was the first woman, but not the last. Very good. Very good, Aya. Let's now move to the last question. Okay. Use contextual clues to figure out the meanings of, let me delete these just because I want to explain the words first and then, okay. Use contextual clues to figure out the meanings of the words in the box below, then fill in the blanks with the correct word to complete the following sentences. Yeah, let's start with unbounded, paragraph 3. Let's go to paragraph 3. We have to explain the meanings and then try to fill them in the blanks. So, coupled with his illness came to symbolize the unbounded possibilities of the human mind. What do you mean by unbounded? Hello?
Miss, can you repeat the question?
What do we mean by unbounded? It's in paragraph 3. The paragraph is in front of you now. You can read the paragraph and find the meaning of unbounded using contextual clues.
Miss, not possible.
No. If I said that, what?
It could be done.
No. I explained this, by the way. I explained this, but you are not storing anything. خلاص, the session ends, you forget everything. Miss, let's say that there is a certain limit for something. Limit, okay?
It's very strong.
No, let me explain. There is a certain limit for something, okay? Or a certain boundary for something. Boundaries, limits, okay? If I said that the human mind is unbounded or has unbounded limits, unbounded possibilities.
Unlimited.
means it is unlimited. It has no limits. Okay, human mind can do anything. This is what we mean by unbounded. Let's move to the second word, which is terminal. For Hawking, the early diagnosis of his terminal disease and witnessing the death from leukemia. What do you mean by a terminal disease?
Dangerous?
Yes, maybe dangerous, deadly, very good.
Miss, it leads to death or so.
Yes, deadly, dangerous, chronic. Okay, let's move to paragraph 7 and we have absolute. Hawking, Penrose said, had an absolute determination not to let anything get in his way. What do you mean by absolute determination? Absolute.
Miss, for sure.
Yes, very good. For sure, he was. He has a determination. He had a determination which wasn't able, and no one was able to beat this determination. It was an absolute, يعني مثل to the maximum. Okay. So artificial. Some snacks contain artificial colors. What does that mean?
Miss, like fake.
What?
Miss, like fake or a
Yes.
copy.
Very good. Fake. Excellent. Okay, the last word, which is distant. He spoke also of death.
Miss, no way.
And the eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon that doctors saw. Distant. What do you mean by distant?
Far away.
Far away. Very good. Far away. Excellent. So let's go now to the exercise and try to fill in the blanks. Organic products contain no preservations or coloring.
Miss, artificial.
Very good. Artificial. Yes, Hassan Watfa. Hassan, unmute yourself. You
Can I solve the next one?
Hassan,
What?
you want to solve the next one?
Yeah,
Why did you join now? شو ناطر كنت؟
my internet mass.
يلا يا حسين, go ahead.
I have confidence in my dear parents.
Yes,
Absolute.
very good. Absolute confidence in my dear parents. Number 3, Adam Hajaji. Adam,
Yes, miss.
يلا يا Adam. Number 3, he is very strong and his energy is
Um, uh, determined.
No.
when في determined أصلا. حبيبي, you need to put words here from the box. He is very strong and his energy is what? Who knows the answer? Who knows the answer? Nobody? Miss? Guys? Hello? Miss, can you hear me? Hello? Guys. What's going on? Michael? Michael? Okay, miss, I'm back. But what's wrong with you? I didn't lose connection. Why can't you hear me? Hello? Okay, I will continue this in case you watched the video. He is very strong and his energy is unbounded. The car has reached its terminal speed and can run faster no longer. That's it. Thank you. I'll check with you on the group what happened to see what's the problem. Goodbye.